Giordano Bruno. I believe I'm saying his name right. I could be wrong in the pronunciation. But he was a man that lived back in the 1600s. Well, no, he lived in the 1500s. He was executed in the year 1600. He was executed by the Catholic Church for heresy, for certain beliefs that he had. He believed that the stars in the night sky were similar to our sun, that they were actually suns as well, and that there are planets orbiting those suns, and that they could also support life. And there are other things that he believed in as well. He voiced his opinion. He was charged with heresy by the Catholic Church, and he was executed. He was burned at the stake. Now, this was a story that I've been knowing about. I learned about this years ago. And I saw the post a couple of days ago. And I got involved in the conversation that was surrounding the post. And it's funny because this video that I'm making right here is actually a second spin at getting this video right. I had actually done a video about this same subject before, but when I saw the post a couple of days ago, and I got to interacting with the young lady that the post, her page that the post is on, I felt like redoing this video to sharpen up some of the points that I was making in that first video. Okay, so when you read religious text, okay, namely the Bible. Now, in this country, it's been reported that 80% of the black community, 80% of the people in the black community claim allegiance to the church. And an overwhelming majority of the people in this country, and I'm talking about all groups, an overwhelming majority claim allegiance to the the Christian church. Well, the Christian faith. An overwhelming majority claims allegiance to the Christian faith. Now, the thing is, and the videos I make on this channel are all directed towards my people, the black community. And I know for a fact that a lot of people aren't gonna like what I have to say. These are just my feelings and my opinions, okay? Now, and getting all of that out of the way, I wanted to speak on God. When you think about God, what exactly do you think about? Now, when you look and you read scriptures in the Bible, God is always referred to as he or him. And there are certain characteristics that God is described as having. Emotional characteristics. He's a jealous God. He's a vengeful God. There shall be no other gods before me. And the thing is, I got to thinking about it. And I got to thinking, man, the way this book describes God, it makes God sound like a spoiled brat. Now, I wanted to bring something up, and that is us as human beings and the tremendous egos that we have. Okay? This guy that I brought up earlier that was executed by the Catholic Church because of certain beliefs he had, he was executed because the leaders of the Catholic Church weren't having that. They weren't trying to hear anybody come out and say that that we, as far as the planet that we're on and the sun, the star that we orbit, they weren't trying to hear this man say that there's other places that could be just like this, that can harbor life just like the earth does. Because then that makes us not as special anymore. All of a sudden, we're not the center of the universe. You hear what I'm saying? All of a sudden, everything isn't about us. That's the type of egos that we as human beings have. Not only that, I want to point something else out. God. He's a vengeful God. He's a jealous God. So God is a man. I mean, because when you read the scriptures from the Bible, it talks about how we were made in his image. Okay? We were made in his image. His image. See, I'm trying to get y'all to focus on that because, as we all know, when you're talking about a war, the winners usually do what? The winners of that particular war are the ones that get to write the history books. And the winners of that war are always going to paint themselves out to be the moral crusaders, so to speak. They were fighting on the side of good. Now, I also want you people to think about the pecking order on this planet. Men are the dominant sex. Men are the ones who have written the history books. When you talk about the clergy in the church, who does the clergy consist of? Men. Okay? God is a man? Or is God a man because men have control of the information that went into that book? Okay, I'm gonna leave that that piece of this video. I'm gonna leave that right now because I want to go into something else. All right. Now, scientists have figured out that the Milky Way galaxy, the galaxy that we reside in, is 100,000 light years across. Okay? Now look, for you people that don't have any idea what I'm talking about, a light year is the distance that light travels within a year. Now, the speed of light is around 160,000 miles a second. I know that it can travel around the Earth 7 times a second. And the Earth is 24,000 miles around. In diameter. So, yeah, about 160,000 miles per second. Now, look, when you think about 160,000 miles, most people aren't going to be able to grasp how far that is. The speed and light can travel that in 1 second. Now, think about this. How many seconds are in a minute? 60 seconds. How many minutes are in an hour? 60 minutes. How many hours are in a day? 24 hours. How many days are in a year? 364, 65 days a year? Man, the number of miles that is, man, how can you as a human being even fathom how far that is? Now, we're talking about 1 year. Scientists have figured out that the Milky Way galaxy, this galaxy that we're in, is 100,000 light years across. Now, I want you people to think about something for a minute. Think about traveling to different places on the planet Earth. Think about how different things seem just by going into other countries. You know, take a flight to the Middle East somewhere, or you take a flight to the outer reaches of Asia, or the stacks of Russia. You go to these places and it seems like you're in a different world. think about the distances that I'm talking about right now. If it seems like you're in a different world or a different land, just by traveling to the other side of the planet, what would it be like to travel 100,000 light years away? You got to be talking about something that's almost a different reality. You know what I mean? Now, people have gotten a little bit more comfortable with the idea that there is life on other planets. Okay? Not only life, but intelligent life. And not only intelligent life, but more advanced life than our own. Now, we've all seen the artist renditions, you know, the paintings and the pictures of what we believe aliens to look like, you know, little green men with the big head, with the big grapefruit size black eyes. We're getting more comfortable with the idea that there is life in other places. Now, this galaxy alone, the Milky Way galaxy, holds about 100 billion. Yes, about 100 billion stars in this one galaxy alone. So the thing is, when you do the math, it makes it seem more likely that there will be life somewhere else. When you take in consideration that our sun is a star and you're talking about 100 billion stars within this galaxy. And as far as the skyline of the entire universe, you're talking about 100 billion galaxies that we know of. We don't even know exactly how big the universe is. Now, I know this has been kind of long-winded, and you people probably don't even much realize or understand the direction I'm going in. But just follow me. Now, okay. Do I believe in God? Me, myself, do I believe in God? Yes, I do. I believe in God because of practical reasons. Now, when I say practical, I know you people gonna be, but understand what I'm saying. I'm not diminishing what God is. I'm saying for my understanding. Because I know nothing in life that doesn't have a creator. Okay? The clothes on your backs, the cell phone in your pocket, the car that you drive, the house that you stay in, the light bulbs in the ceiling, the sidewalk outside, the freeways, the highways, the skyscrapers downtown, whatever types of technologies that you deal with on a regular basis all had a creator. Now, the natural world is a different story. You know, like if you're looking at the rocks on the ground. Now, scientists can explain the processes that took place for those rocks to form, but you have the question of, well, what force set those processes in motion? You see what I'm saying? So when I think about reality itself, I feel that it only makes sense that there is a superior force that was responsible for setting everything into motion as far as reality itself. Okay. So yes, I do believe in God. But see, I want you people to try to follow me on this. Now, human beings, we are very flawed. We have emotions that are so irrational. We have reactions to certain situations that are so counterproductive. We have problems. As human beings, we have problems, y'all. We have problems. We have problems mentally. We have problems emotionally. We have problems physically. Now I want to see if y'all can understand where I'm coming from when I say this. Let me ask y'all a question. When you think about all the different stuff that I laid out, when we talk about the universe itself, think about how small we are compared to just the galaxy that we stay in. 100,000 light years across. Think about the pictures you've seen of the Earth from satellites that have been set in orbit against the curtain of space. Man, you're talking about we look insignificant. Okay? We look almost insignificant. We're a spot on the wall, just like the rest of the stars and whatever planets are out there. Our technologies haven't been able to take us any further than the moon. Now, why do I say all of that? Well, I wanted to set this question up that I want to ask y'all, so y'all can understand where I'm coming from. When you take in consideration all the things that I brought up, and when you talk about God, the force that is responsible for reality itself, what makes you people even think that God has any of your human traits? It was seen to me that the force that is responsible for the universe. You understand what I'm saying? The force that created things like quasars, that created stars, that created black holes, dark matter, the type of things that we have absolutely no knowledge on, the things that we barely can comprehend. What makes you think the force that created those things, that created reality itself, what makes you people think that God has petty emotions like jealousy and vengeance? We think so highly of ourselves. We put ourselves on these pedestals. God has to be like us. He has to look like us because we're so beautiful. Oh, we're so smart. We were made in his image. We were made in his image. We are special. As flawed as we are, our egos are so large that we believe that the creator of everything, the creator of reality itself, we want to believe that this force is just like us. And the reason why we believe this, well, it's because of the scriptures that we study. And I'm not even much just talking about Christianity. I'm talking about just religion in general. See, what I've learned is that anything that you read, any type of communication, any stories, any books that you pick up and you hold up to your face, the content in that book, that content was written by man. Okay? And people are always like, you don't question the Lord. Look, you aren't questioning the Lord when you open up one of these books. You're questioning information that was written by man that is presented to you by man. You aren't questioning God. That's how egotistical we are. That is how egotistical we are. We will talk about the word of God, and the words that you're reading was written by man. We put a sex on God. God, he. I mean, I know, and this is the thing about it. I know that there's going to be somebody. It might just be one person. It's going to be somebody that's going to see this video, that's going to understand where I'm coming from. They're going to walk away understanding where I'm coming from. And they're going to agree with me. But the thing is this. I'm going to come. Okay. I'm going to come way out of left field with what I'm finna say to end this video with, okay? Now, everybody remembers the movie The Matrix, right? Remember the premise behind that movie? Human beings were placed into a dreamlike state to believe they were living in a world that didn't exist. Remember that? To keep them under control. See, I think that movie is a whole lot deeper than people actually realize it is. And there's a part in the first one, because you know there's like what, 2 or 3 Matrices now, 3 or 4. There was a line where there was a part in the first one that I love, and I think that it was so deep and so profound that it actually went over people's heads. And it's the part where they first unhooked Neo. Remember that? They had first unhooked him from the Matrix. And he winds up on the bridge of the ship with Morpheus and the rest of the crew. Morpheus runs down to him that everything that he's believed in is basically a lie. And that, you know, that reality is totally different than what he was brought to believe. And he when they unhook him from that machine, remember, he's flailing around like, get away from me, get away from me, get away from me. He falls out and he throws up. The shock of what he was told knocked him out. He wakes up and Morpheus apologizes to him. And he tells him, Morpheus tells Neo, he's like, Neo, I have to apologize to you because we have a rule. We don't awaken people after a certain age because the mind has trouble letting go. I'm going to let y'all ponder that for a while. Y'all have a good day.